Tradition took me, the world swallowed me. I have a story to tell the world. I have a story to tell the world. This is my story, please listen carefully. One day I met a lady. She told me that Jesus died for me. He shed his blood and he loves me. He's calling me, his light is shining. Will shine in my darkness. Will shine in my darkness.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend Sama, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our program, Our Amba History. Today on our Amba History, we'll be crossing over to Momo County. But before we get there, some music for you.
Lady, I said, since I was born, I heard that same story. Have you seen him? Have you touched him? Have you met him? And where is he? After many words of argument all day, I saw my sin, I was ashamed. I surrender to the Savior. I surrender to the Redeemer. What about you? He's calling you. What about you? Jesus is calling you. Everybody. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Sing and give glory to the Most High God. Everybody sing.
Thank you very much. Everybody sing and give glory, because our God is great. And this is Ambazonia, our homeland, that we must take, whether Satan likes it or not. We must take back our homeland. And we are taking back our homeland by force or by peace. One of the two we must do. Ladies and gentlemen, at home front is exactly 6 minutes past the hour of 5 p.m. in Ambazonia. And I think that all of us in Ambazonia are listening and learning very, very fast. Because if you are not listening and if you are not learning fast, you will be the loser. What do I say so, and what do I mean? Anybody, I will say it and say it again, anybody listening to CRTV as an Ambazonian, you are of all men most miserable. I don't mix words. If you listen to CRTV as an Ambazonian, you are lost, because CRTV is not only demonic, it's not only satanic, it is also a family. And may I say it emphatically, it is also very, very wicked spiritually and distort information. I know many of you have carried the narrative from the lies. Of course, ABC Undaunted News came out with Tapadi King to analyze and tell Ambazonians that if you have that channel in your house and that's the only channel, break it off. It's better to stay with that information than to get misinformation. And I will want to encourage every Ambazonian to take off CRTV from your channel, or if you have any cable, don't allow those people to demonize you. Like I said, they don't only come to say lies that they are saying, they also use a spirit. And that spirit, once it possesses you, you will believe lies. than to believe the real thing that you're supposed to believe. So I want to encourage all of you to cut off from that lying spirit of La Republique and then get to listen to your news on what ABC Amba TV is telling you. And we are here to tell you the truth of what you're supposed to know as an Ambazonian. Now, you want to cross over with me and listen very attentively to some of the things that Ambazonia is actually doing, which I think that we should get to know the history of our land, know the people of our land, and then from there, you can now march on to where you are supposed to be and to understand why we are where we are and what we are doing. Now, I know that it has been said on ABC Amber News and the analysis that the criminal that is mentioned as an opposition and a terrorist, and that these scammers, I want to call them those names because that is who they are. We are tired of hiding their identity and then just trying to play over the game. That these scammers who come out from La Republique after receiving their corrupted and corruption, they come out to spew out lies to frighten Ambazonians. Please, Ambazonians, remember, one of the instruments that Satan is using and has been using is the instrument of fright. When they frighten you, and you listen to that deceitful and lying speeches that they say and they do, you become paralyzed. And once you're paralyzed, you cannot act in your right senses. But I want to let Ambazonians that know that this battle we have been singing and will continue to sing was handed over to the Lord Jesus Christ so many years ago when our honorable president, in the person of Dr. Samuel Sako, assumed office after unanimously being chosen from amongst the three that were deputizing when Ayuk Tabi was picked up. They came to a vote, and in that vote, Chris Ano had one, and Bobga Harmony had 0 vote. And because of that, a lot of animosity and other things have come up, which have done everything to make sure that the Ambazonian quest is dampened and destroyed. But you see, it's good for us to know this history and to run with this history, because if you don't know the history, you will not be able to understand where we are coming from and where we are going. I like to always relate this history to the history of God, that because of that, history that is related to the history of God. Remember, Satan, the devil, was, I don't know whether he's still called Lucifer today, but was called Lucifer. And the meaning of Lucifer actually indicates and signifies a morning star, a bright and morning star. It also signifies a covering cherub, and also signify the ADC. That means the aide de camp of God. He was actually very popular, very instrumental, but he decided to abuse his office like many have done in the Ambazonian quest. They have refused and abused their office, trying to make sure that they measure up and they reach out to being like God, of which is not possible. So also in the Ambazonian quest, when we stood out that we're going to fight La Republique, these demonic people, knowing the weakness of the spirits of some of the Ambazonians, who say the Ambazonians, and they have no stamina, when a position is proposed to them in a vacuum, they run for it. And when money is proposed to them without even them seeing a dime. They go for it and they start carrying out the activities of the enemy. And that is why till now we are where we are as a result of this betrayal. But nevertheless, with this betrayal, Ambazonians are still striving. Last week, we had a wonderful time with the people of the Mezam, uh, no, Momo County. Yeah, Momo County. And the Momo County is a great county that some of them started telling us exactly who they are and where they came from. And I would like to get more of these tidbits from the people that are very much involved and concerned so that we can share with the majority of the people that could not get into the draft because of time constraint, and also to many who do not actually very much know where they are coming from and what their uh, state of origin is all about. And so today, I will be focusing on the great Momo County to tell you a few tips about the great Momo County so that you can know. And what I'm going to be doing here today, I will be reading a write-up from one of the sons of the Momo County. He is a very fervent and not only fervent, but an integral part of the interim government from Momo County. And of course, he is a prof. So when a professor of good standing with his nation, Ambazonia, and with his county, Momo, writes a thing, it is very, very important for us to let the Ambazonian people know where we are coming from and the kind of people we are dealing with so that you should not be mistaken. So I'm going to go here straight and then give to you uh, a bit backdrop of where the Momo people actually came from and what they are, what is presently going on. So let's quickly switch over to the Momo County, how do you call it? Momo County write up, and then from there we accelerate what we are talking about to know who and what Ambazonia is all about. Okay, let's go. 2023 County Award written by Momo History Draft Subcommittee. Well, you have the chairman of the subcommittee is a Prof. Martin Ayim, with Dr. Winnie Lobati, Dr. Julius Biedum, and Ni John Anno. These are the committee members of the Momo draft that came up with this brief history. The name of the great county of Momo is derived from the river Momo, which flows north to south, cutting through Menemo, Mogamo, and Widikum local government areas. The capital of Momo County is currently in Bengui, in Menemo, LGA. The first capital was at Gwofon, bounding Mogamo and Menemo LGAs. Momo people are of the Simi Bantu race. Momo was first colonized by the Germans in 1884 after the infamous Berlin Conference. Momo was then carved into German Cameroon with a K. Zingraft exploited Momo extensively. So I want you to be attentive very seriously and know exactly your history so that nobody goes to defraud you, nobody goes to deceive you, and nobody makes you look as if you don't know where you're coming from. So this is how Momo started moving. I made up a note of Dr. Zingraf. There's a particular Ambazonian I don't want to call him an ex-Ambazonian. He's still an Ambazonian, but in the rank and file of the betrayals or the contractors, we normally call him Zingrab whenever his name is mentioned. That's not the history of today. I had told you that in our Amba history, we want to tell you something good. And if you are there, please listening to me, and you have something good about the history of Ambazonia from the Savannah zone. Remember, Momo is in the Savannah zone, from the Atlantic zone, and from the Midland zone. Please let us know, and we'll see exactly where we can go. Am I sure Momo is in the Midland zone? All right, please let me know if Momo is in the Midland zone or in the Savannah zone. All right, let's go. When the British and French teamed up and defeated the Germans, Momo was carved into British Cameroons. After the British arbitrarily divided British Cameroons for administrative reasons into British Northern Cameroons and British Southern Cameroons, Momo County, like all Ambazonian counties, was carved into the British Southern Cameroons. Momo County is home to the powerful Widikum ethnic group, the Tiwirikum Widikum ethnic group is one of the largest in the southern Cameroons. Generally, the Widikum ethnic group is comprised of all those people who trace their roots to Tatkon in Moramo local government area, not the Ntarikun in Mankon. It's called Tatkon, not Tarinkun. All right. And the Alatin, Apani, no. And Iti, Apani, Niri, Unmi, hey, Onyemi. Okay, in Widukum, local government area. That is written in typical Widukum appellation or Momo language, which I'm not very conversant, but at least as an Ambazonian, I have tried. All right. Widukum ethnic group spans into 5 counties: Momo, Mezam, Menchim, Lobialem, and Manyu. In Mezam, they are the Baba 2 people, Santa Mbe and Santa Akum, Upper and Lower Ngemba, Awing and Mundum 1 and 2, all were under the original Ngemba Widikum Council in the 1950s. The Amasi people in Akwaya, LGA, trace their roots to Widikum. The Bangwa people of Lobialem trace their roots to Widikum. Furthermore, the people of Ishimbi, Baba, and Befang in Minchim also trace their roots to Widikum. So you now see that Momo and Widikum is actually the home for what we can call the greater Ambazonian people. That is the home for great Ambazonian people. And we really, really appreciate what Widikum people and the people of the British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, are actually doing to dig out their history, because nobody will deceive us anymore. Momo shares a boundary with Manyu to the west, and south with Widikum is the beginning of transition from forest to beautiful and scenic mountains and rolling hills. Momo is southern Cameroons in miniature. Topographically, Momo shares boundary to the north with Mezam and Menchim counties. Widikum traditional wares and food are an embodiment of those of the Atlantic and Midland zones. This can better be explained in an exclusive write-up of the history of Widikum. Furthermore, Momo also shares boundary to the east with Lobialem County. Momo people are very social, that I should think. Very sociable and hospitable. It means that Ambazonia is all Momo because Ambazonians are very social and hospitable. So long as their culture is respected, explaining the reasons for coexistence with Fulanis, Hausa, and Borolos in a farming grazing relationship. Because of their kindness, every visitor feels at home in any part of Momo. And not only that, we have seen without any mixture of words the in the well, I don't want to call it opportunity, but I want to say that we have seen that because of the kindness of these very wonderful God-chosen people in a God-given land, we have discovered that many people take advantage of this kindness of these people because of what we are reading here. And I now understand why the Maquisards, when they ran away from their villages and entered Ambazonia, and they were received, they now actually, when they were received as visitors, they were given the best of what we could give them, you know. And when we were given the best that we can give them, they now decided to join the enemies to fight against us. To fight against us. And I think that uh, we will not refuse, and we will not get back to not being the kind people that we are. We will not get back not to being the kind people that we are. We will continue with our kindness and prove to the world that Momo people, in fact, Momo people are a people we should reckon with, because these people from Momo, which I think that if I call them that Momo is the grandfather or the grandmother of all of Ambazonia, will I be wrong? Maybe I'm not wrong. Maybe I'm not wrong. So, but the Momo people, which actually we are now talking about the whole of Widikum, as it is being said here, because everything we are doing here and everything we are saying here is being related to Widikum, meaning that Widikum was the headquarters, or rather the junction, where the ancient people of the Ambazonia met together and decided to share themselves into different LGAs, as we can see. Yes, we can see they share themselves into different LGAs, and we can find and see them all over Ambazonia. We want to say Widikum people, I want to say the people of Ambazonia enjoy a bit and part of the culture of your people on this musical pause. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Momo, Momo, Momoe. Yeah, remember we are here on our Momo history, actually getting back to know the people of Momo County. And we are having the privilege of having these historical facts sent to us in our studios by some of the illustrious sons of Momo who are very conscientious of where they are coming from, and they are making the Momo people actually know that they are recognized in Ambazonia. And I'm tempted again to say that it appears all the counties and tribes in the Savannah zone in particular are coming from Momo axis and from Widikum in particular. And from Widikum in particular. All right, let's go back into our history, and I'm going to read to you some more tidbits. Momo County is located in the Midland Zone. Okay, I was right. It's not in the Savannah Zone. Momo County is in the Midland Zone of Ambazonia and is made up of 5 LGAs as 5 local government areas, which are Menimo, Ngi, Njikwa, Mogamo, and Widikum. Momo is heavily populated with over 400,000 inhabitants plus at home and in the southern Cameroons. Momo people are found everywhere in the southern Cameroons, where they have great influence in local development. Momo people are a very dynamic, pushful, hardworking, and very big on farming. The farming is in capital letters, shining farming and agriculture. If you want to talk about agriculture in Ambazonia and to know who are the shakers and the movers of agriculture in Ambazonia, I want you to get down to the people of Momo. And when you get down to the people of Momo, I am sure you will be able to tell Ambazonians that we are sure of our food and what we are eating, because the people are strong working and do not even actually want the La Republique. If they were very wise, they would not have been importing food anywhere, because the Momo people who are distributed all over Ambazonia, and their major trade or their major profession is to feed the people of Ambazonia. Not only the people of Ambazonia, but feeding the rest of the people around the globe. If La Republique was only cognizant of this, I am sure and I believe that we would have been, as we were, exporting food. Do you know that the Santa people also migrated or came out from the Widikum branch that we are talking about? Oh, yes, they came from there. Yeah, they came from there. And because they came from there, that's why Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and other countries, they benefited so much from these hard-working, strong farming, agricultural people of the Midland zone of Ambazonia. Momo people supply much of the palm oil and raffia palm wine that is consumed by many people in the city of Bamenda. That is what I'm talking about. The hardworking people of Momo had a large workforce in the Atlantic zone within the CDC palm oil plantation periods under the British Southern Cameroons, explaining the reason for many Momoans resettling in the Atlantic zone. Because of their workforce, I think God specially built the Momo people to salvation the world by supplying food. But these people that La Republic is trying to despise, and many people are not recognizing who they are, these are a people that I want to let you know that they are extremely, very strong, not selfish. I mean, they are for the community. They are not only for their little, family members and being selfish. Because selfish people throw away food. But these Momo people, oh boy, I think we can call them the Germans. Because in those days, Germans were very hard and hardworking when the Berlin 1884 divided us and annexed to them. But let's go with our history. Momo is the home of many past influential people in the history of southern Cameroons, notably past icons with Widikum ethnic roots are Honorable Zacharias Abendon of Ngi. Have you heard of Honorable Zacharias Abendon? I thought that he was from KMC, but he is from Ngi, from Widikum. That is Widikum, the crossroad that divided and made the tap routes to go as far as crossing over to Frawa. Yeah. Now we have Honorable Pa Esti Muna of Menemo, former Prime Minister of West Cameroon and one of the team of benevolent neutrality that walked out of the Eastern House of Enugu to administer Southern Cameroons from Boya in 1953 from Momo County. Honorable L.M. Damukong of Batibo, Moramo, former Secretary of Education, His Royal Highness Fon Paul Asama Anawo II of Ngwo in Jikwa. Former member of Southern Cameroon's House of Chiefs. That's the man, Honorable Anao. For the records, Honorable Achidiachu of Santa and Ni John Frundi of Baba too, though their roots can be traced to the Widikum ethnicity, they did not advocate for the restoration of Southern Cameroons. They are not being recognized as such when it comes to the restoration struggle. Contemporary tradition icons of Widikum ethnic group from who support the restoration of Southern Cameroons since 1985 are Honorable Dr. Colonel Hans Anago III, Fon of Ngwo Njikwa, LGA. After early undue retirement, encouraged the liberation struggle by it declaring that we were stateless. When the La Republique resorted to their name at their independence that took place on the 1st of January 1960. Did you understand that? He's saying here that it was Honorable Dr. Colonel Hans that cried out first in 1985 when La Republique reverted in 1984 to the name of Republic of Cameroon without the federal system that was purportedly and supposed to be our name after the falsehood of gaining independence by joining. It was Colonel Hans that shouted that, hey, these people have gone back to 1960. Where are we? We are stateless. We are having no home. Well, today, Ambazonians, I am sure that you are getting the history. These are the men with ethnicity from Widikum in Momo County. Like I said, our history is to get back to the details of who we are, where we are coming from, and where we are going. Now let's continue. His Royal Highness von Fongum Gorji Dinka of Widikum, LGA, the founding father of the Ambazonia restoration struggle, who set the pace, of the struggle in 1985 with his new social order write-ups and actions. Remember, von Colonel Hans, von Gorji Dinka, all of them from the Widdicombe axis, meaning that they are the pilots of where and what we are today. May God bless you and bless your siblings who are still alive to continue with the struggle. For His Royal Highness von Goji Dinka, I remember I talked with him in 2019 in his residence in London. God bless you, sir. Your children are going ahead and the struggle is going on. And we are praying that God will allow you to see us get back to our southern Cameroons, which your instrumentality brought us to where we are by rising up to reason and not to be like Francophones who were taught never to reason, but just to copy and paste. All right. He is still active and focused. That's from Jinka. Honorable, His Royal Highness von Fongum Gorji Dinka and Chief Iwusi of Fako are credited with coining this name Ambazonia in 1985. His Royal Highness von Goji Dinka is a rare breed of international law who also served as the president of the Bar Association. I don't know whether in Cameroon or maybe like. He will be remembered in history as the only His Royal Highness who sacrificed his friendship and single-handedly faced all odds and led the struggle for the restoration of the Republic of Ambazonia. Contemporarily, Momo icons from 2017, after the declaration of the restoration of the Ambazonian independence of Southern Cameroon as Ambazonia, they all include people like who? Let me see here. Deacon Wilfred Tassang from Menemo LGA, who served as Secretary of Teachers Union, President of the Consortium, and Chair of the Southern Cameroon's Governing Council successively. He is one of those who were sold out at the Naira 10 in Abuja, Nigeria. He is still at the Kondenge maximum prison in Yaoundé in our eastern neighbors, La République du Cameroon. Eastern neighboring La République du Cameroon, I mean to say. From jail, he provides advisory opinion to the interim government led by President Samuel Ikome Sako. Professor Martin Ayim from Widdicombe LGA, chair of the Presidential Advisory Council. He has served as Secretary of Foreign Affairs and Chief of Staff of the interim government led by President Samuel Ikome Sako. He was part of the Southern Cameroon's People's Organization's CAPO team in 2002 that filed the case at the African Court of Human and People's Rights, ACHPR, at Banjul in the Gambia, and the Abuja Supreme Court case led by Dr. Kevin Gume, chairman of SCAPO, it must be remembered that the people of Southern Cameroons won both cases. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead with a list of the people from Momo County and from the Widdicombe axis, because when you talk of Momo County and you talk of Widdicombe, you include almost the whole, not almost, the whole of Ambazonia, because people from this particular axis of the Amba land have gone very, very far to do what we are now looking forward to having. Let's have a pause in our history and get back to the Widdicombites. And let's listen to this wonderful song. Those are the people, and these are the people, and we are the people that I'm talking about. Let's continue with the list. Dr. Winnie Lobati Menimo LGA, pioneer chair of the Restoration Southern Cameroon's Interim House of Representatives, IHR. She also served as secretary of the original Restoration Council. Dr. Matt Atugun Jikwa LGA, Director of Civil Service at the Presidency. You have Dr. Patience Abiedu, the woman we are talking about for the woman of Ambazonia and the liberation of the woman. She's from LGA, Secretary of Department of Women's Services. I've said it already. You have Miss Irene Ngwa, Mogamo LGA, Secretary of the National Treasury. She also served as the Undersecretary of the Department of Finance. Ms. Rachel Ita Tima Njikwa LGA, Undersecretary of the Health and Human Services. She also has served as Undersecretary of Department of Women's Services. We have Professor Biji Tebo, Mogamo LGA, Executive Assistant to the President of the Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Mr. Kenneth Tembu Anya Menimo LGA, Chief of Defense, Chief Defense Officer, CDO of Momo County, spokesperson of the Ambazonian National Security Council, ANSC. You have Mr. Samuel Mbuta of Ngi LGA, Momo County, coordinator. He is from LGA. and he's the coordinator 2023, succeeding Barrister Valentine Ghana of Momo. You have Mr. George Fon, Momo LGA, Deputy Director of Special Duties at the Presidency, Reverend Pastor Dr. Victor Mba, Momo LGA, Member of the Presidential Advisory Council, Dr. Julius Abiedu, Ngi LGA, served as member of the Presidential Advisory Team in 2021. Of course, we have Professor Carlson Anyangwe from Jikwa LGA. He led the Southern Cameroon's legal defense team at the African Court of Human and People's Rights in 2002 to secure victory for the Southern Cameroons. He also participated at the many meetings that needed legal expertise from the Southern Cameroons. Momo people speak slight variations of dialects, though they understand themselves. Minimo, I say, is spoken in Minimo language. Mogamo, I say, is spoken in Mogamo language, Mogamo LGA, Monyamo, and so on, so forth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to stop here, but let me just finish the I say. I say, spoken in Widikum, Ate and Azen clans of Widikum, LGA. Busam is spoken in Busam clan, Widikum, LGA. Lembela and Betua, Betuap are spoken in Ambele, and Wando is spoken in Menka Widikum LGA. Ongia is spoken in Gi LGA, and 9 other dialects that are spoken in the 9 villages that make up Jikwa LGA. Finally, Aborobot. Peace be with you. Farewell is common Widikum ethnic expression. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall be back at the time given to continue with this exhaustive history of the Widikum people. In my next outing on Amba history, I shall conclude this piece of history for the Widikum people. But for now, I want to thank the Widikum people, and I'm not ungrateful to Professor Ayim, Dr. Winnie, Dr. Julius, Ni John Anon. I am not ungrateful to you people. Thank you for providing to the Ambazonian people this wonderful piece of history, which I think will go a long way to remind the people of Ambazonia that we are coming from somewhere and we are going somewhere. Now, our phone line is open. I'll give the next 2 minutes while we go back to dance a little bit of the Momo, Momo. Akriye, please. Akriye. All right, let's get back there. God bless.
Joshua Karagwe, Mbwe Bitiniza, is an Otiniza Moshi. Ayungu Biakoba Rukoche. Oka Yisra, Ayungu Meo, Karakare, Jere, Tinaka Nemo, Ayeneju, Tinegu Jatao. Yeah, Anwaza nego, oh, and go ten go. I got them me to all, we're not doing it. I got them me pune, we're not doing it. Oh, come on, let's go, but mocky, I ain't got it. Go. Hey! Oh, been in my big tomorrow. Oh, been in my big tomorrow. Oh, been in my big tomorrow, and me Momo. Oh, been in my big tomorrow, and me Momo. If been in Winnie, if been Uzang, if been again, if been Ta, if been again, if been again, if been again, if been again. Apatibo Gafon Awanga Zakre, Momo. Oh, many. Mwanginye katemetere twakutoro ayakati
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Miyaka. Very bot. All right. That was it with our Amba history today. And we brought to you our history with our famous, wonderful Momo people, of which I am learning that most of us, not only in the savannah and in the midland zones, we got our outings from that particular avenue and area of our country. May God bless the people of Ambazonia, and let us continue with our Amba history and continue to fight, because we must get our land back. Whether the devil likes it or not, we are getting our land back. Again, before I shut down, don't go away from ABC. You have wonderful programs that are coming up on ABC. Don't miss any of the programs. And as I told you, don't let the enemy deceive you. If you are at the home front, please, I beg you, stop listening to anything on CRTV. It's poison to you, the Ambazonian people. If you are an Ambazonian and you are listening to CRTV of La Republic of Cameroon, you are swallowing death. And I want to tell you that when the time comes, it will kill you. Please don't die. We don't want you to die. We want you to live. So let's live together and let us fight and get back to our land. God bless the people of Ambazonia, and see you one of these days to continue with our history. God bless you.
Anonago engongo tendwine inyirike mwanginye katemetere twakutoro ayakati chop, longe, stop, aje, ask a sec, chop, 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 bedum.